Hello, it's Honestly Fiona here, and I've not done one of these before, but I thought I'd have a little chat about tea. So really it's tea with Fee. I've done my blog post, and so I thought I'd come along and do a little bit of a vlog as well. I'm trying to use my camera. I've had it for a very long time and I've only just worked out what I need to do. So if this is a little bit, not very good, you'll have to excuse me. Anyway, don't you just love a cup of tea? I love my tea. I love tea first thing in the morning. It's the thing that gets me up in the morning when I'm feeling exhausted, and believe you me, these days I am exhausted because I have to get up so early to do the station run and take my son to the train station to get his train. So I need a cup of tea to actually get me going. At work, we're always drinking tea. Because I work in reception, the door is always open and it's freezing cold. And believe you me, it is freezing cold at the moment. And it doesn't matter how many layers I put on, I'm always cold. So even just holding a cup of tea is lovely. But I love a nice warm cup of tea at work, and it also, when the kids just get you going and your patience is running a bit low, a cup of tea sorts it out, gets you through the day. When my kids, I'm talking about my kids at home, in fact they're not kids, well they are my kids, but they're grown men. When they've pushed me too far, they always say, "Mum, do you want a cup of tea?" It seems to be the answer to all things. Tea will make things better. So when I'm feeling sad, upset, if they've made me cross or angry, that's what they do. They make me a cup of tea. And it's sort of, and even at the end of the day, I like a cup of tea. So that's it. Tea is the drink for me, not a coffee drinker at all. Now, when it comes to what tea I drink, basically I usually drink, oh, here it is, the PG Tips Original. It's not very original for me because obviously it's the one that most people drink. I'm not a fan of Tetley tea bags. I've had them and it just, I always had a bit of a funny taste. If I'm feeling, very affluent, this is Yorkshire tea is a nice second, but usually I only get it if it's on offer. But my parents always have Yorkshire tea, and it's quite nice at the moment because they've got the word Gruffalo on it, and it's "Let's plant a million trees." That's a good thing to do, isn't it? So that's my tea, and I lose my voice quite a lot. It's one of the downsides of my job, and perhaps I sing and I use it a lot. And so when I get a cold or I use my voice a lot, I do have to drink green tea, pure green tea. I don't like any flavours in it. I've tried it with lemon, that wasn't the same. So it has to be just pure green tea, and but it's not the same as a normal cup of tea. So I only drink green tea when I know I'm getting a cold, and I've got to be a bit careful. So that's me and my tea. Now, how do I like my tea? Well, I'm going to show you. I like my tea with milk, no sugar. I used to have sugar when I was a young girl, but I was very, very shy, and I think, as I said before, I used to work in Waitrose, and the sugar bowl was right down the other end, and I was too shy because they were all talking and busy, and I thought I couldn't shout across the table and ask for the tea, so I forced myself to have my tea without sugar, and I grew to quite like it, which is just as well really, because it's not such a good thing to have. But anyway, I do like it to be a certain colour. I don't like it too pale, too milky. I don't like it very, very strong. My eldest son, neither of my sons drink tea, which is most peculiar. And my eldest one sometimes makes it a bit strong. I don't say anything because, well, that would be a bit ungrateful, wouldn't it? But this might just help. Not that he probably ever watches his mother on a vlog. Anyway, I'm going to make my tea so that you can see what it's like. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this bit because now I've got to go over to my kettle and hope that you can see me making my tea. So I'll just turn the kettle on first. Oh, there it is, look. I'm hoping it's going to go into action. There it is. Oh, steaming up, nice. You probably won't be able to hear me now. I've done this once before, for goodness sake, Fiona, you'd think you'd learn. Anyway, I'll move across maybe whilst it just boils. I do like my tea to be boiling, but I'm not like my granny. My granny used to like, she was very Irish and she liked her tea boiling hot. And whereas I can only drink it when it's cooled down a bit. I haven't got an asbestos mouth like she did. If you're wondering what that mirror's doing there on the floor, well, it's been there for well, probably about 2 years. Well, no, this extension we've had, it's been completed for a year. It was building for a year, so and that mirror has sat there because my husband's not a DIY man, and we need somebody strong enough to know what you do to put it up on the wall, and we haven't yet found somebody or had the money to get somebody in to do it. It's not a priority, so it sits there looking lovely. Well, I keep moving around, don't I? Right, anyway, I'm now going to pour my boiling water into my teacup. Oh, this is my favourite teacup. My friend Sue gave me this teacup. It's a Cath Kidston one. There it is. And it's nice and wide, nice and big, and you get a good cup of tea in this one. I don't like those teacups where they've got little small handles and you can't get your fingers through them and it's all a bit of a problem. Anyway, I better use my water whilst it's it's boiling in. I better watch what I'm doing, otherwise I'll have it all over the side. There you go. There's my tea in my, can you see that colour? Oh, there it is. Nice, brewing. Whilst it brews, I'll just show you my other cups. Look, I've got a whole selection in there. Oh. And my other favourites are these ones. They're from Whittards. They're quite nice. They're nice and thick and colourful. But we do have a selection of, you know, all sorts. Mine is not the one with Star Trek on it. I'm not a fan of Star Trek, so that's not my one. Anyway, I'm now going over to the fridge. Let's let you in. Oh, look, the cat wants to go out, so I better let him out. There you go. Get my milk. Oh, this is funny, isn't it? That's one of the joys of my extension, has been my American freezer. I've really enjoyed having that. It means that we can have lots of rubbish and plenty of room for it. So now I've got my oh, is it there? Yes, that's a nice cup of tea, isn't it? Look, there we go. It's brewing nicely. I know that in the old days, when my family had cup of tea and we made it in a pot, you had to put the milk in first and the tea in afterwards. And I think that's the right way to do it. But, you know, when you're putting in milk afterwards, the tea bag, I like to just see the colour of my tea. So, oh, there goes my tea bag. There's the colour of my tea. Nice and strong, not too bad. I'm now going to sit and wait whilst it slightly cools, because that's how I like my tea. Anyway, that's my little chat about tea. One thing that my friends do get annoyed about when I make tea at work is the fact that I do leave a bit of tea in the bottom. I don't know why I do it, but I think it's probably left over from the fact that when we had tea leaves, because I'm that old, that, you know, we used to have tea leaves. And I've seen tea bags evolve. There you go. So that's the other thing. And some friends, oh, I've done it here, look. I've not taken it right up to the top of the mug, which one person at work gets very upset about if I make her a cup of tea. Anyway, that's it. Here's to this nice cup of tea. And I'll perhaps speak to you again soon if I've decided I can cope with vlogs that just require me to chat. Bye. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye. Oh, no, it's still going.